Every entrepreneur has a moment of reflection. For David Appah, it was a decision to not only venture into catfish farming, but save his entire allowance as a national service personnel for this new venture. With a monthly allowance of 559 cedis, David managed to save 6,000 cedis as starting capital for this venture. Today, he is rearing close to 1,000 catfish, but it never came easy.
Due to COVID, we were kind of running shifts.
Yes.
So I could save those money for a system.
How much were you saving?
I'm saving 500 cedis. So mostly we go at least once a week or sometimes 2 times a month. So those 50 Ghana on the 500 cedis was for the transport. Since I was in the house, I was sitting from the house, so I could save that money.
But what kept you going to make this dream of, having to venture into catfishing a reality?
So when I was in school, I realized that the tilapia and the catfish system has a difference. So in Ghana, we have the tilapia market running than the catfish. So it's a new market that is being introduced. So I decided to enter so that I don't get late in the race. That's why. But
how was the feedback? I can imagine the feedback from your parents, your siblings when you told them.
They didn't actually support. They felt it was too much, and then it was expensive. And then all the time I was using my money to run the system. So they didn't understand the whole thing. But as time went on, they bought the idea and then they started supporting. I can see that. But how much specifically did you invest into the fish farming? Totally, having to start with this catfish business. We are heading around 9,000, but initially when we started, it was around 6,000.
So when you saved the entire national service money?
Yes, it was around 6,000.
6,000 cedis to push into this market. Great. That's lovely. David Appah is a graduate from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. He understands the nuances of catering for these delicate fishes which have a high mortality rate.
I wake up very early. See, they are really sensitive to sound, so I actually feed them at dawn, around 3 a.m. That time the weather is cool and calm, so you get them eating much at 3. So in the morning when I come, I have a light, so I turn on the lights and then I check if the oxygen level is high or low. So I don't have a probe actually, so I use my observation. So sometimes you see them at the surface taking oxygen in the atmosphere. Because of their burrows, they can survive with that. So when it's like that, then I immediately change the water. This one I change it, but the tap isn't flowing, so that's why it's below. So I change the water, but if it's okay, I feed them and I observe their eating practices. So if their eating aggression is very low, I know that there's a problem.
One secret I've learned about catfish is that they barely like noise, and so they often operate in a very serene environment. The little noise you can see there, then they all tend to be so much restless. It's part of the whole plan that persons like David have learned in, not just cultivating them, but of course putting them up for sale in the market. Catfish farming is aggressively picking up in Ghana, overtaking tilapia. The Fisheries Commission reveals that big investments in aquaculture recently have been channeled to catfish production. The Greater Accra region owned a market value of 500,000 cedis in 2020 alone. David is going to teach me how to hold a catfish. Then after that, we're going to weigh the fish on the scale.
So it's a slippery animal.
It's very slippery.
It's very slippery. So these 2 fins,
yes,
you lock it with your hand.
You lock the fins?
Yes, with your hand. Your 2 fingers.
Okay.
Yes. No, inside. So you then you hold the head. So with your 2 hands. So actually, so you hold the head from the under.
This way?
Yes.
So that's it?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. I see. And it's interesting, this is a very popular fish, right? Especially in Accra. People really are craving for this kind of fish. I don't know what for a reason. So we're going to weigh the fish now.
We weigh.
So we just place it
So I'm zeroing it, so okay.
in the bucket.
So we place it.
We just drop it in there.
So it's 80 kilos. A.
It weighs 80.
No, 0.8 kilos.
Yes, so that's 0.8 kilograms.
Yeah.
So this is part of the routine you do every day?
Yes.
So let me try and do this myself. So I lock it this.
So you can lock it from this side. Okay. So depending on how big it is, then it determines the number of hands you can use. So this one is not really big, so you can just use your one hand. So use this hand. But when you hold it, it will slip.
This is way.
Face it. You have to face it.
And I just drop it there.
Yes.
So I'm currently in the farm with David. We're weighing the fish to see how good they are on the market.
So I did 1.24.
So that's 1.24.
Yes.
They're quite healthy. So you often weigh the fish before you sell to the consumer. So the heavier the fish, the
bigger the
amount. I guess this is also healthy.
This one is
right?
a female, I'm sure.
This is a female. She's pregnant.
Yeah, it has eggs.
Oh, I see. So what happens to the pregnant one?
So it's a female. So this
how do you see it?
So this is the sex organ.
Oh, okay.
So so that's the eggs.
Okay.
So when you press the belly down, the eggs come out. Yes.
So do you have a specific place for pregnant catfish?
So you see, this is not their natural habitat.
Oh, okay.
So you get them reproducing when there's current in the water, when there's a water flow.
Okay. Okay.
David's decision to venture into fish farming was met with some opposition in its initial stages.
I was discouraged at a point because in the beginning my family actually had some holdbacks for what I was doing, but now it's cool with them. So yeah. So when you want to actually do it, if you can really just seek some advice from some of the experts. As at now, I still read my books and ask my friends for some ideas. So.
Charity Appah, sister of David, recalls how she battled to convince him out of his dreams. A move she and the rest of the family would have regretted, she admits.
Oh, honestly, I wasn't in support. When my mommy told me, I told her that, like, how many people take catfish? Like, this is not a business, I think. I was thinking about just the money aspect. And anytime he gets money, he go and buy feed. And he was always broke. So I advised my mommy to tell him that he should stop. But he was passionate about it. And then I realized he loved doing it. So I decided that let's support him if that is what he wanted to do. But I thought it wasn't a good idea. But later on, when I tasted it, and then when I went to work too, I realized people really love it. It wasn't just the Nigerians. So I decided that let's support him. So anytime he needs help, we come around.
So help me. So this is one that he just presented us.
Yeah.
So is there a way by which you eat the catfish?
Yeah, we you know, unlike tilapia that sometimes we eat with banku, this one you can just take it like that. We love it.
You can take it without banku.
Oh yeah, you can. Like everything is in. It's nutritious. There are vegetables.
I see. Yeah. So this is how the catfish looks when it's done. From the water, the tanker, to the grill, to the dinner table. This is how it looks. It looks so yummy. So how much in all does this whole catfish cost?
It depends on the weight.
Okay.
It depends.
Catfish is becoming a popular delicacy, especially in the Greater Accra and the Volta regions. Mostly grilled, the ray-thin fish goes for 50 and 60 cedis, depending on its size.
Well, this is what family is all about for the Appahs. David is so much confident in himself that even though he's starting so small, the joys of his family could motivate him enough to take up huge roles in the future as a fish farmer. I'm Charles Aiche reporting for Joy Business.